Okay, I get it. We're supposed to share the love. But when it comes to two breakfast croissants for $4 from Jack in the Box, sometimes you need to share with someone who really looks out for you. That would be you. Who bought you those two croissants anyway? You did. Well done, you. Gold star. Go ahead, share it with yourself. Get two buttery croissants with freshly cracked eggs and your choice of sausage or grilled bacon and ham for $4. Only at Jack in the Box. Home of breakfast served all day. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
You're listening to the Morning Punch-In Show with RB and Jae, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is RB and Jae. This is the Morning Punch-In Show, the most unpredictable and the most unconventional boxing talk you're going to get in the game. Today is Monday, June 27th. Our special guests today on the Hotline Bling are Jason Sosa, Jarrett Hurd, Shawn Porter, and Mr. Kenny Porter as well. Let me properly introduce my co-pilot, Jay. What's good, Jay? What's popping in L.A.?
LA is cloudy and it's overcast, but it's sunny and hot inside my house. Yes, indeed. Ready to get another great morning of boxing talk with you and all these fabulous guests that we just miraculously managed to book. How did we do it? I don't know. Look at my Twitter. Maybe that's how we did it. I don't know.
No, what an awesome weekend. You know, starting Friday, there was fights in China, and then Saturday we were over in the UK and Brooklyn, and there was just so much adrenaline, so much excitement. Great weekend of boxing. And we got some really good hot topics to talk about, some headlines and hot things going on in the boxing world. We also have a segment called In Case You Missed It, where maybe some things that flew under your radar last week, we're going to just update you on those things and, you know, fill you in on that good stuff. Oh, the word on the curb, Jay. We've got so much word on the curb. We've been holding on to a bunch of stuff because, you know, we weren't on last week. So we are ready to dish the tea. We got some good stuff that definitely has not been put out there, has not been on social media, has not had any articles written about it. So we got some good word on the curb.
Stay tuned, folks. You're going to learn some stuff. You're going to learn today.
One of the hot topics that we'll spend a little bit of time on today while we're waiting for Jason Sosa to call in, we're going to talk about Canelo. You know, he announced his fight with Liam Smith. Twitter broke down. You know, people were having conniptions and strokes and everything else on social media. So we're going to talk a lot about Canelo during Hot Topics. And during In Case You Missed It, there was that are being made that really did not get any attention last week. So we're going to talk about those too. What else we got, Jay?
We have up-to-the-minute boxing news. We're going to, of course, do the weekend fight schedule as we normally do, and maybe we'll play a little Know It or Blow It if we have enough time for that, and you can win some gear from the Raging Babe store. Shout out to our guy, Christian Gaines, who won tickets to the Thurman Porter fight last week, and this guy was so lit and so excited that he won these tickets. He took about 347 selfies of himself at the fight, of the ring, outside Barclays, in the street. So shout out to him for being excited and a great, great supporter, and my flight mate, and enjoyed those tickets to Thurman Porter. So thank you again, and, you know, we like giving things to you. So shout out to all the people who support the show.
He had a good time. We were happy that we were able to do that. Shout out to Lou DiBella for the tickets. And I think everybody in Brooklyn had a really fun night. And I'm actually looking forward to talking to Jarrett Hurd today because he really came out of nowhere. And he has fought twice on TV, and he really impressed everyone. And we want to really get to know him, and we want our listeners to know this kid. Where did you come from? How many amateur fights did you have? Like, what do you – like, we don't know this kid, but I like him. There's something about him. I like him. Don't you like him, Jay?
I do, absolutely. He showed up. This kid wasn't even supposed to be on TV, and he stepped up big time and made himself known on a great night to be made known on.
Yeah, good stuff. And then we're waiting for, let's see, Sosa should be calling any minute. Jason Sosa, you know, he was fighting on club shows a year ago, and now he's the WBA champion. So we want to get to know him too. Let's see. Is Sosa in the line yet, Jay?
I'm taking a look for him unless he's throwing us a curveball and calling us from a different number. I don't see him in the queue yet, but wow, Puerto Rico he's Puerto Rican, right?
Yes.
Puerto Rico, stand up, wepa, 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 get your wepa out, and it's a good time to be from the island. Still living high off of the Puerto Rican Day Parade a few weeks ago from New York. So yeah, it's a good time to be Puerto Rican. Is it a good time to be Puerto Rican?
He's carrying the torch for us. Thank you, Jason. No, listen, I would be wrong if I didn't thank our sponsors right now. So the Morning Punch-In Show is powered by War Tape, Box Stats, the WBO, and the WBC. So much love to you guys for keeping us going and supporting us. We wouldn't be here without you.
They're great strategic partners. I'm going to get me some War Tape, and I don't know who I'm going to fight. I don't know. I might just go outside and just shadow box or something here in the hood and support War Tape brand. I probably won't wrap my hands properly, but it'll look good while I'm doing it.
So at the 8:30 mark, we're going to hear from Shawn Porter, this is really cool because he didn't get to go to the post-fight press conference, and he really wanted to talk to the fans and the media, but for precautionary reasons, they just wanted to check him out and make sure he's okay. So he's actually coming on the Morning Punch-In Show first thing this morning with us, and we'll get to talk to him first, so that'll be cool. And then we'll talk to Kenny Porter, too, and we'll talk more of the business side of the fight and the aftermath with him. So we're expecting to get a lot of good stuff.
Kenny is always a great guest, always gives really good insight on both sides, from the business standpoint, from the trainer standpoint, from the parent standpoint. So just a wealth of knowledge all bottled up into one caller. So definitely looking forward to a great conversation with Kenny Porter. And wow, I can't wait to get his take on, as a father, aside from being the trainer and being in the corner with his son Shawn, what it felt like to watch these people at Barclays react to, while they came up short, they just cheered and cheered and cheered Shawn Porter on, and it had to be a fantastic feeling from a parent's point of view.
Yeah, there was a lot of emotions flying high. And I think we have our first caller. I think we have from Camden, New Jersey, the new WBA champ, Jason Sosa's on the line.
Hey,
Jason
how you
Sosa,
doing?
you are live.
How you doing, Michelle?
Hi. Hey, say hi to Jay, my co-host.
How you doing?
What's
We're
going
doing
on,
good.
Jason?
We know that you must be on cloud nine. Jason Sosa, you fought Nicholas Walters back in December. Without hesitation, you took the fight. Then a call comes in from China, and without hesitation, you take the fight. Where does that come from? You don't turn anything down, and you just do your job.
Well, first, it goes out to the team. Tino has changed my career. And
Uh-oh. Hello?
Jason, did we lose Jason?
I think we lost him.
I think we lost him. So we'll wait for him to dial back in. So just in case you're tuning in, we're joined by Jason Sosa. Looks like he's in a bad reception area. He's back from China, right? He made it back to Philly already, right?
Yeah, they did. I mean, it was tough over there and getting acclimated to come back here. Hopefully he'll call right back in. We wanted to talk about that.
Yes, here he is. He is now.
All right.
Hello?
All right, Jason, we got you back.
I'm so sorry about that. It all comes down to the team. It's a team effort, and Raul, he's changed my career, and I trust him with everything. I trust him with my life, and he puts me in the position that we know we're gonna come out victorious. And it comes down to hard work and dedication, and we signed up. We signed up for this. We signed out to fight the best, and that's what we're looking forward to continue on doing.
Jason, after the Walters fight, you got the draw in that fight, and did you feel like you would get another title shot after that fight, the way it ended?
Yeah. I felt like either a title shot or a rematch with Nicholas Walters would have been great as well. But yeah, I mean, my performance, you know, it speaks for itself, and you know, the way that I performed against Nicholas Walters had everybody, you know, either was a draw, had people questioning it, and yeah, I was confident in that I was going to get another shot. You know, I'm a crowd pleaser, you know, and you know, I'm here to fight. I'm here to, you know, just do what I do best.
So you felt the draw then, it wasn't a setback. You felt that fight was a performance that just kept your name, it would keep your name out there and keep you in front of the fans despite the outcome. Yeah,
100%, because, you know, you're talking about a young man with only 3 amateur fights, started his career in 2009, late, you know, at 20 years old, and have accomplished so much in such a short period of time. And I didn't just fight a nobody. You know, I fought an ex-world champion, almost named pound for pound, and for me to go in there and for people to expect differently and me to show different, I think that opened a lot of people's eyes. Like, oh, you know, this kid is probably, or maybe, the real deal.
You took the Walters fight without hesitation. Call comes from Beijing. You take that fight without hesitation. A great opportunity. Since it had been a little bit since you'd been out of the ring, about 7 months, did you feel like they were underestimating you when you got the call for that fight? Like maybe they caught you slipping or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, they was hoping for that, but I take my career very serious. You know, I'm here for one thing, and that's to become a world champion, and you know, I have accomplished that, and you know, there's many more, you know, world titles that I want to accomplish. Yeah, I take my career very serious. I'm always in the gym. There's never I'm never out of shape. I'm always, you know, in great condition, and making sure that hopefully we don't get caught off guard, you know, with a phone call. And we just prepare ourselves.
Jason, less than a year ago, you were literally fighting on local club shows in Philly. Next thing you know, you're on HBO, you're going to China, you know, you're signed by 2 Hall of Fame promoters with Bob Arum and Russell Peltz. You know, there's just so much that we could talk about here with your journey. I mean, coming from Camden, being Puerto Rican, I mean, you took the road less traveled. And I think that's why a lot of people do like you and they cheer for you. So let's go to the fight. You were down on all the cards. You were even dropped during the fight. Did you know that you were behind on the cards before that knockout came?
No, I wasn't. You know, I wasn't sure if I was down or not, but I just know I was there to perform. You know, we pretty much did everything we was working on in the gym, and you know, I'm a pretty smart fighter. You know, it's just a matter of time that I catch someone making a mistake, and you know, I was waiting for my opportunity, and you know, and it actually worked as game plan. So yeah, I mean, I can't ask for more.
Yeah, you just stayed focused, and it showed. So, look, you were really emotional after the fight. You know, you realized, wow, I'm the WBA champ. I did it. What was the first thing you thought of? Who's the first person you thought of at that moment?
Honestly, so much things went through my mind. You know, for one thing is, it still hasn't hit me yet that I'm a world champion. I'm still shocked, so it's like I'm still like, when is it going to hit me kind of mood. But no, I mean, you know, I took in a lot for this fight. You know, I thought about everybody. I thought about people that was in this position before, you know, people that I know that was in the position before, and this belt meant a lot, and hopefully it made a lot to a lot of people, because you know that's how I went into this fight, you know, and I didn't want to let nobody down, you know, I didn't want to let down my old man Russell Peltz, you know, my trainer Raul Rivas, and the team, and it's like when I won that title, it was more like we did it, you know, like kind of attitude, like wow, like we actually accomplished what we came to do. We took a trip all the way to China, and we did it.
When you went to China, the time change is crazy. You had to acclimate to all that, the food, make weight? Was there anything that happened before the fight that didn't go according to plan?
Honestly, no. Everything was actually perfect. Just except, let me rephrase that. Except the time difference with the sleeping. I was always waking up at 3 in the morning. I was getting up at 3 in the morning and calling people, and I'm like, oh, oops, I forgot. It's time difference.
But it seemed not to affect you in the ring. How many days were you there, you know, before you had to hit the ring for the fight?
I believe we was there for a week and like a couple of days.
So nothing. You had a chance to get good and acclimated before fight night.
Yeah, I think we was just on time. Like it was perfect.
All right, excellent. I think we. So what's next for you, Jason? We definitely want to see you back in the ring the sooner than the later. What's coming up next?
Yeah, I definitely want to get back in the ring. Right now, I'm you know, take a little break as in a week, and then hit back in the gym, work on more things, and hopefully, you know, we can get another big fight. From this point on, I want to fight all the 130 pounders that got titles. I want to fight the best. I want to fight, you know. I haven't accomplished anything yet. Yeah, I accomplished being a world champion, but there's just so much more to do. And we set a goal for ourselves, and that is to be a 3-time world champion. And I think we're focusing on that, you know, and just move on, just accomplish bigger and better things.
Well, Jason, congratulations. You made Camden and Philly so proud. You've taken the road less traveled. It's to be respected. We want you to keep us posted on what's coming next. You got some friends over here on the Morning Punch-In Show. You know, they thought it'd be an easier fight and a cheaper fight, but they were wrong. And so congratulations. Enjoy the moment. And all the best to you. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Jason Sosa with the upset.
When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you.
All right, we are back. Let's go over to London, Jay. Let's break down and give some fight recaps on Showtime with Anthony Joshua versus Dominic Breazeale. Anthony Joshua with the knockout in the 7th round retained his IBF heavyweight title. He had no trouble with Dominic Breazeale. It was a systematic breakdown. I feel the stage was obviously too big for Dominic. He struggled very early on. He didn't win a round. Pure survival mode from the opening round. Joshua pretty much did whatever he wanted to do. But you know what? You got to give it to Breazeale. He did better than Charles Martin. He showed a lot of grit. He showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of will. But, you know, he took nothing but punishment. He was totally outclassed.
Completely. I knew we were in, well, we knew upon announcement of this fight that how it was going to end. And it's no disrespect. We're not being disrespectful to Dominic Breazeale because he put the gloves on and he went out there, but it was pretty obvious how this fight was going to go upon its announcement. And I knew this was going to be an ugly night when Joshua connected early. I think it was in the first round. And as the punch came in, Dominic had his eyes closed. Oh, I said, no, please don't close your eyes when the punch is coming. You got to be ready. You can't be ready if your eyes are closed.
Yeah, I think Fight Hype said it best. This is why pros should not compete against the amateurs in the Olympics. That is exactly what we saw on TV. So for all this, pros are allowed back in the Olympics. That's what it's going to look like. There is levels to this, and, not cute. So who's going to be next for Anthony Joshua? So far, he's fought 2 Heyman fighters, Charles Martin, Dominic Breazeale, and I'm thinking Gerald Washington, come on down if the price is right.
Gerald Washington. Yeah, that'll be another win for Joshua, and I just don't think that he should have too much trouble dispatching of the Heyman fighters as they line them up in front of him.
Yeah, they're on the undercard of that fight. There was Chris Eubank Jr. versus Tom Duran. He knocked him out. After the fight, Eubank said, Golovkin, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for your belts. Everybody's scared of you, but I'm not. I'm coming for you. Chris
Eubank, that's going to be a great fight. This kid is making some noise across the pond. It'll be a formidable opponent for Gennady Golovkin. Even if the fans aren't as familiar with him, they're just as familiar with him as say Dominic Wade or any of his other past opponents. That's a good looking fight right there.
All right, let's fly back over. Let's fly back over to Brooklyn, where the CBS card opened up with Jarrett Hurd versus Oscar Molina, and we now have Jarrett Hurd on the line, listeners. Jarrett.
How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning. How are you?
Good, man. We've been wanting to talk to you. We've been wanting to get to know you. You kind of came out of nowhere, kid. Like, nobody, really knew who you were last year.
Yeah, man. I didn't have a big amateur career, so it was hard for a lot of guys and a lot of people to know who Swift Jarrett Hurd was. And, every fight and every time I wanted to prove myself, get an opportunity, I had to come out there and prove myself.
And you have. You've been given 2 opportunities to fight on TV, and you fought 2 tough guys. It's not like they put you on TV against cupcakes. And you seized both of the moments. And I think people now, they know your name. So you had over 2 million people that tuned in on Saturday night, and they know your name. But we want to know you. Tell us, what should we know about you? What should the fans know about you?
Swift Jarrett Hurd, man. I'm just a kid from Acton, Maryland that, was never given an opportunity. I didn't have a big amateur career, so I had to take the route that wasn't that easy. I was put on a stage where I say the biggest point boxing can get, and I went out there and I put on a great performance. Of course I had the butterflies. You wouldn't be human if you wouldn't get nervous, but I knew right. I was put on here to do this, so I went out there and did what I know I can do.
That's so genuine. You stopped Frank Galarza a few months ago, and then you stopped Oscar Molina Saturday night. And I have to ask you, do you think that stoppage was premature? We all knew you were going to win the fight anyway, but you went 10 rounds toe-to-toe. Do you think the ref cut it off a little too soon?
Well, I'm not in the ref body, so I can't really see what the ref sees. But as I went home and watched the fight, I can see you picking it up in the 10th round. But we're fighters, man. So Oscar Molina was a tough guy. He fought the entire time through all 10 rounds, and I think we had like a minute left, and I feel like Oscar Molina should have been given a little more opportunity to try to finish the fight. But like I said, I can't see what the referee sees.
Well, me and Jay, we're going to tell you what we kind of liked about you. And I think everybody else, you know, on social media, I really liked your work rate. I thought that you were just really busy. You had these really clean, short punches, and you're really long. So you don't really see that. Like, you had these really short, clean punches, really nice uppercuts, and I love your swag. Like, you got this really calm demeanor, and it makes for fun fights. Like, you have these really good tools in your box, and you just look more seasoned than I think what people think you are.
Right, like in these last two fights, I think I answer a lot of questions about myself. You know, I'm this 154-pounder, tall, long, 78.5-inch reach, long arms. And in my first fight with Gallarza, I felt I proved that I can use a jab and stay on the outside, counterpunch with great defense. And with my last fight with Oscar Molina, I proved that I also can stay in the inside and go toe-to-toe and also take a punch, you know. So I'm not just a one-dimensional type of fighter. I got a lot of styles, you know, from A to Z. So, you know, I go in there and according to how my opponent is, I can adjust. So I feel like I'm just a total package and all, you know.
It was clear that you controlled the fight for the majority of the rounds. No close decision there in the way it ended. At what point did you feel like, or at any, that you had the fight firmly in control?
I think it was around this. Well, of course, when I got the knockdown, I felt like, wow, he can't take my power. But, you know, I think it was around the third, or I think it was after the fourth round. I felt like keeping my distance was giving him too much time to, fight his fight. So I said, man, take control of this fight. I got to start walking down and stay close to him. Just keep touching. I think around the fourth and fifth round, I felt like he started to wear down. So I said, I got this, man. That's when I started to realize I had to fight.
And going back before the fight even started, when you got the call, how did they let you know that your fight was going to make it to TV? I imagine that was pretty exciting for you to find out that the fight was going to get moved up with the cancellation of the other fight.
Oh yeah, I got the call and I was in the gym working out, preparing for the fight, and then my trainer came out of the office and he like, yo, Jerry, you're not gonna believe this, man. I was like, what? He's like, you just got bumped up to co-main event. I said, really? I said, you lying that stuff? He said, that's what my trainer. I said, you lying that stuff? He said, nah, man. Abner Morrow just got an injury. Got bumped up to co-main event, man. We started jumping around the gym. I was like, this is another opportunity. Another opportunity.
You started boxing in, the DMV area, I guess, and you signed with Al Heyman, I believe, in 2014. What I want people to know is you were fighting on local club shows. I think Keystone Boxing promoted, 12 of your fights. Is that right?
Yeah, yes. My first 12 fights.
Yeah, so you really
13,
had to grind your way up.
Yeah, man. Listen. I want to first of all give a big shout out to Keystone Boxing because, like I said, it was hard for me to get on, get an opportunity to turn professional. Guys didn't know if I could sell tickets. Guys didn't know if my style was exciting. And Keystone Boxing gave me that opportunity, for my first 13 fights. They put me on their show. Not only did they put me on their show, I actually hold the record for the most fights ever on Keystone Boxing show, period. So, they gave me all the opportunity in the world to display my talent. And I eventually got picked up and signed with Al Heyman on my 14 fights. And, man, without them, I don't know.
Well, it was definitely great to see you make the most of your opportunity. Fight gets moved up, and you came out and you brought your best, and it ended up being on a big stage and a great opportunity for you. Jarrett, it's been a pleasure talking to you this morning, getting to know you, and we hope to see you back in the ring very, very soon. And when you get ready to, you'll stop by and rock with the Morning Punch-In Show and talk about your next fight.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And I thank you so much for having me.
All right. Have a good day.
Care.
All right, you too. Thank you.
The Caribe Hilton Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico will host the 29th WBO convention October 17th through October 21st. The World Boxing Organization is a sanctioning organization currently recognizing professional boxing world champions such as Sergey the Crusher Kovalev, Gilberto El Zurdo Ramirez, Terrence Bud Crawford, Jesse La Nueva Generación Vargas, Roman Rocky Martinez. Registration forms and advertising opportunities are on our website at WBOboxing.com. The WBO also has a mission that extends beyond the ring, so help join the WBO on this fight. And for more information on the WBO convention in Puerto Rico and the Kids Drug Free program, visit WBOboxing.com.
I love that commercial.
I know. We just jam out. While we wait for Shawn Porter, thank you, Jarrett Hurd, for calling in. That really was a good fight, and they really did go to toe-to-toe. There was a lot of action. It was a really good appetizer for Thurman Porter. And when they announced that Hurd-Molina fight, I so wanted that to be on TV. I knew it was a good matchup. And, you know, the funny thing is when they made Hurd Galarza, I had picked Hurd to upset Galarza, and he did. A lot of people just didn't know who he was if you're really not in the boxing scene that way. But I was like, oh, man, these guys should be streaming the undercards. And I'm just, you know, I'm not happy that the Mares fight was canceled, but I am happy that we got to see Hurd seize another opportunity in another moment like he did.
Yeah, it's really a great thing for these young guys to be able to step up and display their talents in front of a large audience. It pays dividends in the long run. They get their name out there, and it's a win-win-win for everybody involved.
Yeah. So let's see. While we're waiting for Shawn, let's see. We could either talk to Kenny first, or you know what? Let's talk about the fight a little bit, Jay, before we bring Shawn on. Keith Thurman got, you know, he was scored with the unanimous decision over Shawn Porter. He retained his WBA welterweight title. It was the highest gate at Barclays Center, $1.1 million. You cannot hate on that. These are two good guys in boxing. They are. Thurman is this very eccentric guy. Shawn has always been this humbling, charismatic dude. They were both truly professionals. Shawn left everything in the ring. He really did. I think Thurman poured it all out there as well. They were both proud. They both walked out healthy. They fought in front of 2.4 million people. That's a big number, Jay. How can anybody hate on this fight?
Because they're just haters, and it's just sad. That fight was fantastic. I don't care who you are, who you pledge allegiance to, who you enjoy. Love the fight for the fight. I thought fans of boxing, period, you're supposed to be there for the fight. You're not there for the promoter. You're not there for the network. You are there for the fighter. And I think that so many people have lost sight of that. It's really about these fighters. It's not about me, RB and Jae. It's not about these reporters. It's not about whoever character. It's about these fighters. And these two guys showed up. They showed out. And that fight was fantastic.
It was. You know, there were some experts before the fight that were trashing the fight. Oh, it's all bad stylistically. It's going to be boring. This is going to be Bailey Alexander all over again. You know, I'm so glad we're not experts, you know, because what was there to slam, you know, and the fight did not fall short. You know, I thought it was bullshit. No, it wasn't Hagler-Hearns. And Salido Vargas wasn't Morales Barrera 1 either. So let's calm down because Thurman Porter was Thurman Porter. So I don't know why we have to, you know, continue to compare it. So that we do have a 216 number in. Not sure if that's Shawn Porter or not. You want to try to see if it's him?
Good morning. You're on with the Morning Punch-In Show. Who are we speaking to from the 216?
Jacqueline Barnes, Shawn Porter's assistant.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Good morning.
You must be proud today.
I am.
Good. Well, we're waiting on Shawn. I guess we'll put you back in the queue. I guess you were just listening in?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for listening. We got Team Porter all over.
Team Porter. Team Porter should be very proud. They should be very proud. We'll talk to, I don't want to divulge too much of our line of questioning right now before we have Shawn join us, but absolutely Team Porter should be head held high. on the cards, they came up a little short, but definitely not a loss any way that you look at it. Great fight, and I'm looking forward to speaking to Shawn.
And, you know, over here, RB and Jay, we like to just be really fair and call it like it is. Like Jay said, I don't care what channel it's on, who the promoter is, who the manager is. We could all have opinions, but let's be consistent. And if being real is considered overrated, then we're overrated. And I'm good with that.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm fine with that. The fans, we just want good fights. It shouldn't matter. All that other stuff shouldn't matter. Russell Peltz once told me, if a promoter just makes good fights, nobody can criticize them. There's nothing to criticize. Now, the fighters, they have to perform, they have to deliver, but when you make good fights, great things happen. Stop with building up fights. Stop scheduling fights, 17 months out. Just lace up.
I'm going to, you know what? Why don't we schedule an interview with Floyd for 18 months out? Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm going to send an email over to the powers that be and say, hey, we would like to interview Floyd Mayweather in March of 2018, and we'll be ready because we need some time to get ready and to prepare, and I think by March 2018 we got it.
So silly.
Yeah, that's the trend now.
Anyway, yeah, I was just really disappointed in certain media members and certain fans that just really couldn't say anything good about it. And I felt bad for Keith and Shawn because they fought their asses off. How can you not give them props? I'm actually texting with Shawn Porter right now. Why don't we go, Jay, to a quick commercial so that we can bring them back on live, if that's okay with you?
Oh, I would love to. I would love to play the WBO commercial again, but I'm not going to play that one again. We'll play this commercial and not dance in our feet.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
All right, and we are back with Shawn Showtime Porter. What's good, Shawn?
Man, how you gonna say my name wrong?
Shawn Showtime Shawn Porter.
There you go, Showtime Shawn Porter.
My bad.
Yeah,
you're the one calling in late.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is this Pacific time or Eastern Standard Time? Oh, really? Okay. Let's start over. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good morning. We got Showtime Shawn Porter on the line. So listen, thank you so much for the tremendous fight last night.
Oh man, I don't know. I did what I thought I was supposed to do to get the win. We came up short, but at any rate, I just feel blessed to come out of the ring safely. Blessed to have my dad in the corner with me, and just blessed to have that opportunity to be on CBS primetime.
Shawn, it was a great fight. As you stood there at the conclusion of the fight, waiting for the scorecard to be read, what was going through your mind?
You know what? Right before they started reading it, I think everybody knows.
See how Shawn do it? That's why we're going to call him Shawn Showtime Porter.
Shawn's breaking up. Shawn, you're breaking up.
I had you on speakerphone. Is that better?
Yes.
There we go.
I got you on speakerphone now, so I'm sorry. Well, yeah,
okay.
As soon as they started to read the cards, I turned around and I screamed, I want it, and I just really wanted that moment. I wanted to have that WBA title wrapped around me, and I wanted to be Keith, But it's like my dad says, he was proud of what I had done. He was proud of the work that I had put in, and he could see that I was focused, in tune with him, and in tune with the fight. So it seems like sometimes whose hands gets raised. Sometimes it doesn't matter as much. It's kind of wild hearing me say that, but it's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like even though my hand didn't get raised, I didn't lose. The way that, the judges judged that I lost.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, being proud, just look at how the Barclays Center reacted when the announcement was read. We could hear it on the TV that the crowd started to boo when Thurman's hand was raised at the conclusion of the fight. How has this outpouring of love from the audience there and just on social media affected you since the fight ended?
Well, it took me a minute to hear the boos because obviously I was in my own emotion, and I looked to my dad, and he got me right and took me over there to the camera and said, stay composed, stay poised, and do your thing. And he knows that I'm always going to speak. I'm going to speak and sound good and do what I'm supposed to do and always show my professionalism. After Jim Gray said, listen to the boos, I was able to really see that, the crowd they enjoyed the fight. They liked what they saw from me, and they thought that I won. And, that's the crazy part is I was telling my dad, I don't accept losing. I don't accept defeat. I never have. And I hate it. I said, but at the same time, the way that, Twitter is blowing off and blowing up and the way that, the rest of social media and boxing writers are blowing up on this fight, I don't really feel like a loser, and he says, you're not a loser, you didn't lose the fight, so the outpouring of love has been well received for me. I've seen it, and I just appreciate it. I really do.
Well, there definitely wasn't any loser in that fight, and sometimes the way you lose and the way that you swallow that, it means a lot more to the fans because they could relate to that. We all fall and we all get back up, and it's how we get through things like that. So what I wanted to ask you is, did Keith do anything during the fight that surprised you, like anything that you were, kind of taken back by and a little impressed by, like, ooh, I wasn't expecting that from him?
You know what? The one thing that, we knew he was going to do, we knew he was going to throw off-balance shots, punches that, can be hard to see, punches that are wild and unpredictable. We knew all that. We knew all that going in. I was able to defend. In my mind, I was able to defend a majority of it. He did catch me flush a few times, but there really were no surprises. He actually, I'll have to look to make sure, but I'm pretty sure he turned his back on me about twice, and so that was a surprise. But, I think he was doing what he felt he had to do to win the fight. But I would say overall, no, he did everything we expected him to do, and I'm pretty sure we were able to, I was able to do everything that I wanted to do in the ring. Even the jab, my dad showed me the box numbers on the jab, and I thought that I could have worked my jab more, better, and the numbers showed it. I landed more jabs than him. I threw more jabs than him. So that was a big focal point going into the fight, was being able to utilize my jab. And top to bottom, I think we were able to do everything we trained for in the gym.
Put yourself in the judge's seat, okay? What could Shawn Porter have done differently to clearly beat Keith Thurman? If you were the judge.
I'm working on my rest and recovery right now.
Uh-oh, he's breaking up again.
I did sauna, jacuzzi. I did sauna.
Oh, we lost him. That was funny, though.
Shawn.
That sounded like a great joke. He said something, rest and recovery jacuzzi. Could you imagine if somebody tuned in at that moment and went, what are they talking about on the show? I thought this was the show. So we will wait for him to dial back in.
Oh, man. He's probably done with us. Very.
I know. He's back.
Stop playing
over
there.
Shawn,
what button y'all pressing? Y'all pressing buttons over there.
My alpaca hit the phone and it hung up on you.
The alpaca rug.
So to answer your question, I'm doing all this. I'm playing the fight in my head, and I'm just thinking, what did I do wrong? What could I have done more of? And this might sound funny to y'all, but I thought the only thing I could have done more was box more, throw more punches from the outside. I think there may have been just a few times in the fight where I may have stepped back and slowed down and waited to see what he would do instead of being, the constant dictator that I try to be in the fight. That's really, right now, without watching the fight, that's the only correction that I've been able to see myself making in my mind. But, heck of a fight for both of us.
Shawn, being outside of the ring for a lengthy period before heading to this fight and then the delay with Thurman's car accident, did you feel that ring rust was a factor for you at any time during the course of the round?
Tell you what, when that bell rung, I was ready to go, and we both were. And after every round, in between every round, going back into the next round, he had his bounce. He was ready, and I was ready. I mean, honestly, people said this was a 50-50 fight. The more and more we approached the fight, we began to feel like it was less than a 50-50 fight. I've been hearing that I won the fight 9-3. I've been hearing that I won the fight 8-4. Few people thought that I got a draw. Not many people thought that I lost the fight. I didn't think that I lost the fight, but looking at him across the ring before each round, he was ready to go. And you guys know that I was ready to go. And I think we both gave it all we had in the ring. And it's to do this interview right now. I can't be mad or upset at the judges or anything. I have to accept the fact that I did not get my hand raised.
That's right. Well, now that the fight is over, it's time for a well-deserved vacation. You've been training hard for a number of months. What do you have planned for yourself? Are you going to jump out any planes? Are we getting new alpaca rugs? Are you sending the Morning Punch-In show new alpaca rugs? What's going on in the aftermath of this fight?
I would say my biggest venture right now is going back home for the 4th of July parade. I've been able to do that the last few years. We have fun with that. Everyone back home accepts me walking in the prairie, and they love it. I love it. Outside of that, I want to see my mom. She's in Atlanta. She just turned 50, actually. And
all right, Mom.
I don't know if I'm going to go down and see her or have her come to me to Vegas. She's never been to Vegas. Those are really the two top things on my list. Most of my family and friends came to the fight, so got seeing them out of the way. But I don't know if y'all know, but I'm not really. Here's the thing: number one, I'm not touristy, and number two, I'm cheap. So with that being said, I don't know about a island trip or cruise or something like that. I honestly I try to spend my time wisely. So along with the rest and recovery, I want to make sure that my weight doesn't get out of hand, that I stay in shape, and that I stay focused on whatever's next. So it's just kind of how I operate. It's how we do it. That's why we call it the Team Porter way. So you guys are talking vacation, and I'm thinking, how can I have a vacation and still be ready to go? So
we're talking vacation, and you're already at the gym this morning doing recovery.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I got in last night. I think our plane landed at 8:30. I got home about 9:15 and rushed over to our new gym in Las Vegas, the Porter High Performance Center, located on Sahara in Paradise.
Congratulations. Wait, give it to us one more time, Shawn.
Yeah,
say that again. It's the Porter High Performance Center, located on Paradise and Sahara. It's on the corner. Can't miss it. There's a picture of me hitting AB and a picture of me hitting Paulie. And a picture of me with my hands raised. It's you can't miss it. It's a fabulous facility. Come over and enjoy it if you can.
That's what's up. Since you're doing recovery and you don't want to gain too much weight, you want to do a Spartan race with me? You want to do a Spartan race?
What's that? No,
it's an obstacle course race.
Nah. When is it? When is it?
There's one coming up in September here in L.A. in Temecula. Let's do the Spartans.
I could be ready for
Porter High Performance. I'll wear a Porter High Performance shirt and everything.
All right, cool. Let's try to set that up. I could be ready for that. That ain't no thing. I thought you was talking about next week or something.
I think the Porter High Performance Center should sponsor the morning show.
Yeah.
We should do what?
We'll wear all your stuff.
That's right.
We need some gear. All right, Shawn Porter, listen, Your heart, your tenacity, your glory, they are undeniable. We enjoyed the fight. Thank you for sacrificing for the fans. I feel that you truly are one of the good guys in boxing. It's one of the reasons why I love boxing. You're consistently humble, and we have so much respect and love for you. You are always welcomed here on the Morning Punch-In Show. You got friends over here. Keep doing your thing, and keep us posted on what's next for you. Have fun in Ohio at the parade, and enjoy your time with your mom. You deserve it.
You guys got it. Hey, thank you so much for to me. I appreciate you doing this interview with me this morning. I think this is only my second interview since the fight, so it's a nice way to kind of vent and share the thoughts that's going in my mind. So thank you guys for the interview.
We're honored. Thank you a lot. Our pleasure. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye. Sean gonna do the Spartan race with me. Watch.
That was great. Sean.
When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you.
Shoot, I need to get in shape for the Spartan race, but I'll do it. If you heard you heard it here on the show, I'm gonna do the Spartan race here in September with Shawn Porter. So I guess I better get my act together.
Our hotline bling is today. It is fuego.
Ridiculous.
I believe that we have Kenny Porter in the switchboard, and we'd like to bring him on and talk to Papa Kenny. Kenny Porter.
Papa Kenny.
Good morning.
Good morning, KP. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm very well.
Amazing fight Saturday night. We don't even know where to start with you. From the very beginning, the ring walk, there was a moment there on TV where you and your son, forehead to forehead, were swaying back and forth. They were announcing his name. What were you saying to your son in those last moments right before the first bell?
You know, normally right there we don't say anything, and we've done it every professional fight that he's had. But this particular time, I believe that I said, I know I told him I was proud of him. I said, I'm already proud of you. I'm sure I told him I love him. And then I think I may have said, I said, take all this in. Just take it all in, And normally we don't say anything. We just kind of zone into each other right there. But in this was the first time I said a few things to him, and I just told him that I was already proud of him. I love him, and I just said, go ahead, take all this in. Just soak all this energy in from the crowd.
It was a good moment, especially, for TV. And you do have a lot to be proud of. Unfortunately, he didn't get the decision. Keith Thurman did. What could Shawn have done differently to win this fight in the eyes of the judges? If you were a judge, put yourself in their seat. What could he have done differently?
You know what? I haven't looked at the fight. I haven't entertained visions of the fight or what was going on throughout the fight. I have not discussed it with Shawn. I'm a realist, and I've always been a realist about this sport. I've been involved with it over 26 years now, and nonstop for me since 1990. But I had my first amateur fight in 1980 when I was 10. So it's just been a long time of me seeing decisions that don't always go the way you think they're going to go. It's not always what you see. Is very subjective. The judging is different perspectives of different people. Unlike all the other major sports, the football goes through the uprights and you can see, the points go on the board, or the basketball goes through the hoop and you can see the 2 points go up. But in boxing, it doesn't work that way. So I don't know what he could have done any more than get a knockout. I did not see the point in the fight where I wanted him to push for the knockout. I didn't see that. Keith and him fought an amazing fight, a spectacular fight, a fantastic fight, and the play on the words there, fantastic. it was a fan, all the fans that were there and the fans that watched on TV. It was a fantastic fight. So they made it great, and this is what you do to become great. This is how Hagler and Hearns and Duran and Leonard did it. So, we need Danny Garcia to fight Shawn Porter. We need Keith Thurman to fight Kell Brook. We need all these guys to fight these top level guys to make themselves great. So I don't know, because honestly I haven't entertained it, what he could have did. I said something to one of the TV commentators, and I asked him, and it confused him when I asked him. This was yesterday. We were in the hotel before we left for breakfast that morning. I asked him, it was Al Bernstein. I asked him, I said, Al, what'd you think about the fight? He said, it could have went either way. No, actually, I didn't ask him. He brought it to me. He said, I thought the fight could have went either way. And I said, oh, okay. He said, it was a great fight. I said, yeah, it was a great fight. And I said something to him that confused him. I said, you agree with the score? He said, yeah, but it could have went either way. I said, tell me how wide of a margin Keith would have won by if Keith had fought Shawn the way Shawn fought Keith, and if Keith was the guy in control with Shawn on the ropes throughout the fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have really, really been looking at a wide score on Keith's behalf, because the perception going into the fight, and this is my belief, the perception going into the fight with these judges, a lot of times they have an expectation of what they're going to put down before they put it there. And so I believe, that if Keith was doing the things to Shawn that Shawn was doing to Keith throughout that fight, controlling him, landing good body shots, backing him up, definitely Keith landed good punches, here and there. The CompuBox stats on the jab, again, here we are, the kid that can't box, but he outjabs Paulie Malignaggi, Devin Alexander, Adrian Bronner, and now he outjabs Keith Thurman. 58 jabs landed to 28 jabs. That means from the outside, the guy that they say is a shorter fighter who only brawls, able to land that many more jabs, but not get credit for it. I just, I don't see that. But, I'm very happy with his performance. And, it's subjective, and, my hat's off to both guys. They both did a great job. They both made each other great.
I love that.
Now,
Can we talk? Go ahead, Jay.
Now, in the aftermath of this fight, Shawn said he's going to take a little break and visit family. How do you keep him centered and focused for the next opportunity, or does he have that under control himself?
I don't know, but he just came in here and sat down next to me in my clean kitchen, all sweaty and stuff. What you been doing? No.
You guys cutting up on the morning punching show.
This dude is. What, you been running? No, I was cool until they talk too much. Wow. You lucky you on that show. I'm gonna let you sit here this morning like that. Okay.
Tell him to take sugar to the groomer. Tell him to take sugar to the groomer for you.
It's long right now, too. He's right here. What was the question? I'm sorry, because he threw me off. Dude, you are so sweaty. I'm not. Stop playing. I'm not even sweating. This is all that. Because I was sitting. Just do the interview. Okay.
Oh, man. Kenny
Team
and his
Porter.
kitchen.
Porter High Performance.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kenny, let's talk a little business. The rematch clause. You guys have one? You guys don't have one? What's going on there?
Well, we don't have a rematch clause to fight Keith. The only way we would have been guaranteed a fight with Keith in a rematch is if we had won the fight. So it's not a rematch clause. It's an escape clause for him. I really feel that this fight needs to be rematched, as someone said on Twitter, run it back. Run That Back. Was that you?
That was me. Run That Back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Run That Back. You know, I did the TV ratings, the gate to the Barclays, the exposure of CBS, the executive director of Showtime, Stephen Espinoza, coming into my locker room, other high-level people who are involved with it, the promoter, Lou DiBella. That stuff doesn't just happen. They came in personally saying, when are you ready to get back on? You just call us. We're ready to go. We love what we saw tonight. There are no losers here tonight. You know, so we don't have a contract to rematch him, but you know, hopefully the fans push for it. Hopefully the network pushes for it, and it happens again. But you know, whatever direction we go in, and you know, I don't want to point any fingers at anybody. This particular person, they're probably pretty close anyway, will probably be listening. They're always coaching me on that I need to fight harder for Shawn, and I think I fight very hard for him. But this will give me more energy to fight harder for him to get back, you know, in the main event fight, in the title fight. You know, I feel he's definitely still deserving to fight Danny Garcia, and he's definitely still deserving a rematch with Keith Thurman. So we just have to, you know, try to get these guys to negotiate a fight with us. I know that we're talking about it right now.
So after the fight, Keith Thurman said, yeah, you know, we could do it again, you know, and then at the post-fight press conference, when you guys weren't there, he said, well, I got to see what's up with my mandatory. And I was like, ooh, well, that changed real quick, because on TV, he said he was down for it. And at the press conference, he said, I got to see what's up with my mandatory. His mandatory is the guy who just beat Sugar Shane Mosley. Avestin? Is that his name? Avestion? Right.
Yeah, David Avesian or something like that.
Yeah, so if you had to put money on it, you think Thurman will give you guys the rematch, or is it too risky for his career?
No, he's not going to give us the rematch if I had to put money on it. If I have to put money on it, I think it's something that he would consider doing further down the line. But just like right now, honestly, I was in that fight. I was in that ring. As Shawn came back to that corner, as Keith got hit with shots, as Shawn got hit with shots, that's not something he's ready to sign up for again. You know, it took him a long time, and this is my belief. Everybody's got this. It took him a long time to you know, get to the ring, whether it's, you know, the decision to make the fight the first time, or whether it's signing the contract the first time, or whether it's, you know, his injuries that he had. It took a long time for this fight to be made, and I just don't see it getting made any sooner than the first time. I just don't. You don't think so, do you?
I don't. You know, I think on TV when he said it, usually, you know, if you go on TV and you say it, you kind of have to man up and do it. But at the press conference when he said, well, I got to see what's up with my mandatory, at that moment I said, Shawn Porter's not getting a rematch. As soon as the word mandatory came out of his mouth, that's when I knew it was a wrap.
Well, you know, when the people
in my opinion.
Yeah, when the people booed the decision, that probably played a lot into his reaction, you know, of saying that he would rematch him, because, you know, them booing made him feel like they weren't happy with the decision, and so he wanted to say at that time, well, you know, I'll decision the guy. I mean, I'll rematch the guy, but I don't think that's something that after you're not in front of that crowd anymore, just like you said, you're just right there in the press conference room. You know, the tone has changed and the answers are changing, and they're going to change even more as the days go by. Yeah.
All right, Kenny. Well, as usual, it's always a pleasure to have you join us. We look forward to your insights and speaking with you. You know, you definitely have some friends here at the Morning Punch-In Show, and we're just excited to see what the next opportunity is for Shawn and yourself. And we're going to come to the Porter High Performance Gym for our branded gear to wear for the show.
Oh, okay. Well, the door is open, but you guys didn't ask me this question, and I'm going to go ahead and ask Shawn, because I definitely don't want to wait, can't wait. I can't negotiate. I don't feel confident in negotiating a fight with Keith Thurman for a rematch that may be years away from now, unless, you know, Showtime is ready to come to the table with us and show us what the money is and show him what the money is, and we're making a determination and at that point in time. And something like that would have to happen, like, okay, guys, we're having a business meeting on, I don't know, one day, July 15th, and at that point in time, we're going to sit down and make a determination of when we will fight and for how much money we'll fight. I can't sit around for speculation to go back and forth, 2 or 3 months. And I'll ask Shawn right now, when do you want to get back in the ring?
Oh, I'm not sure. We know the contract was saying 180 days.
No. We're not talking about Keith. We're talking about you.
Oh, well, no, I'm saying that my mind was already set for 180 days from that fight. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well,
3-4 months.
3 months is about what you should be sitting for, because you can't wait on somebody. That was too long.
Yeah,
that was way too long.
Yeah, and of course, just so y'all know, we are, and y'all know how we operate. Sitting and sitting and not fighting is not our thing. So I was already calculating how can we make it happen. 2 more fights this year, it would be 3 months from now, and then another 3 months trying to bang more out. So we'll see what happens. Let's try to get one in 3 months.
All right, Porters. Thank you so much for joining us, both of you guys, this morning. It's always a pleasure. We have a lot of fun, me and Jay. We'll be out in Vegas in July. Hopefully we can swing by the Performance Center and check it out.
We'll see y'all soon at the Porter High Performance. They're here in Paradise.
I'm sorry. Could you tell us one more time where the Porter High Performance Gym is located in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Of course, certainly. I have no problem doing that. The Porter High Performance Center is located on Sahara in Paradise. It's right in the corner. You can't miss it. There's 3 pictures of me. One hitting Paulie, one of me hitting AB, and one of me with my hands. It's fabulous.
And what kind of fine exercise equipment can we find at the Porter High Performance Gym?
We got the best of the best of the best of the best of the best.
All right. Well, there
you have it. Name that movie. Y'all coming in. Hey, name that movie.
No, I don't know that movie.
You don't know that one?
No.
That's Men in Black. Remember in the first Men in Black?
Yeah.
When he got recruited? Yeah. Because you're the best of the best of the best of the best, sir. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Around. You too. Bye, Kenny and Shawn. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
Oh, my God. That was so funny.
Right. Can we get the Morning Punch-In Show sponsored by the Porter High Performance Gym?
You know what? That is why everybody says, man, your show feels different. It's because it's authentic. And when you just talk to people, really good things happen, and you get authentic things that happen on the radio. And that's what it's really all about, and that's what we like to bring to our listeners. Let's jump into Hot Topics. We ran over 9 o'clock. We're past the hour. But we're going to breeze through some hot topics. We're going to breeze through some, in case you missed it, topics and some word on the curb. Hot topics. Richard Schaefer is back like he never left, and that's because he didn't leave. But anyway, he started a company called Ringstar Sports, and he's licensed as a promoter in New York, California, and Texas. He's going to start doing boxing events He's going to work with Heyman. He's going to work with Floyd. He's got a bunch of ideas. He's going to go over to Rio for the Olympics and scout the talent out there. I think he got a little bit too much credit when he was with Golden Boy Promotions because they were really never in the black. They were always bleeding red. And that's a fact. So I know he did a lot of good things over there, but he also did a lot of shady stuff. But he is a really great guy. But, Jay, what happens to Heyman's promoters that have been running his stuff for the past year and a half? All these little local guys. I mean, Richard, he ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah, he's not worried about anything. He's about to take up all that business that's been in the landscape. You know, what's interesting to me is you've got DeBella in New York, you've got TGB here in California, you've got Leah Bata down in Texas, and those are the first states that he has his promotional license in. And, you know, what's going to happen with all of that? And I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be very interesting to see what the result is of Richard Schaefer's return to the landscape. Is there a timetable for him to jump back in? Is he going to wait till the first of the year?
Well, what I'll say is that typically when you apply for a promoter's license and you're granted one, you have a year to use it. And the year starts in January. So we're already halfway through this year. So if he's already applied and been approved, that means he's doing something this year. You don't apply for a license for no reason. It's not like it expires in, like 2020. You have a year to use it. That's it.
Wow. There it is.
Yeah.
We look forward to see what's going to happen with that.
What I do think will happen is I think that the little guys that Heyman uses around the country, I think that they'll still play a part, but I think he needed to bring in muscle and maybe some more professionalism and some infrastructure, and those guys will probably now go under Richard Schaefer. But he ain't worried about nothing, girl. I'm telling you. Richard, he's chilling. So Mikey Garcia, he announced his return to the ring July 30th in Brooklyn on the Santa Cruz Frampton card against Elio Rojas. He wants the campaign back at 135. He said he's not signed with Al Heyman, which that's a crock of shit. And we still don't know if he's going to sign with Mayweather Promotions. Maybe he's going to sign with Ringstar Sports. What do you think, Jay?
Maybe. I think he ain't worried about nothing either. He hasn't made a decision in this long. When we had Robert Garcia on with us on the Ruckus, he said he was going to do his own thing. We still see him sitting side by side with Floyd. He should still that hot commodity guy that everybody is looking for, so he's definitely not worried about nothing either.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Mikey Garcia is making his return in Brooklyn. When we spoke to Robert Garcia a couple months ago, and just hearing some stuff that Mikey Garcia has said out there in the public, he wanted to really promote himself differently. He wanted to be more strategic. He wanted to fight more in L.A. in front of his people. And I'm like, you ended up in Brooklyn, bro. Like, there's probably like 1,000 Mexicans in Brooklyn. So
ain't worried about nothing.
He ain't worried about nothing.
He ain't worried about nothing.
Yo, Richard Schaefer, he ain't worried about nothing either, Jay.
Ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga.
Nah, he ain't worried about nothing. That's the going theme for these guys these days. Speaking of in news of people who ain't worried about nothing.
Canelo.
Ugh. Canelo Alvarez.
Golden Boy Promotions announced last week that Canelo returns Mexican Independence Day weekend versus Liam Smith. How is this fight? How is this fight getting him acclimated to 160, Jay? This was very underwhelming.
It's ridiculous. It's underwhelming. It's a shit fight. I'm sorry. If Golden Boy, I got nothing but love for you, but it's a shit fight. Liam Smith has never fought outside the UK. Campaigns at 154. He's campaigned his entire career at 154, but the point of these fights were to acclimate him to fighting at 160 to potentially fight Gennady Golovkin in fall of 2017. So in order to get acclimated to fight a guy at 160. You've been consistently fighting at 155, but you're going to fight guys at 154 to get ready for the 160 guy?
Ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing.
That's what's up with Canelo.
Yo, I don't even know how to really react to this fight because, man, it's just bad. You know, the undercard, they're going to have to really stack this undercard. I don't think Liam Smith has ever fought outside of the UK.
What's up with Curtis Stevens? Why the melted cheese couldn't get that fight?
I think the melted cheese is going to get the David Lemieux fight. I really do. I really think he's going to get that fight on that card. And I think the winner of that fight will probably get Canelo in December.
And meanwhile, Canelo
ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing.
Nigga ain't good.
Talking about Canelo, so him and Golovkin apparently have come to some terms. Jay, as you mentioned, they're going to fight in September of 2017, which is very similar to the deal that Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev cut out. So here's the thing. It's starting a really messy trend because over the weekend in Brooklyn, Danny Jacobs now talking about, well, I'll fight Golovkin in a year and a half from now. What the hell?
Sit down.
Now everybody's going to schedule their fights out a year and a half in advance.
These guys don't fight enough as it is.
No. But, Jay, we do have a ring walk song that we want for Canelo to walk out to versus Liam Smith that we think is perfect. Can you play that drop? Canelo's
ain't
song.
Worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing. Nigga 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 ain't worried about nothing.
He don't even need the whole song. He could just loop it. He could play this for the next 2 years. He gonna make his money. That's it. That's all he needs. I want him to come out dancing Angel Garcia style too. Can you imagine coming out, walking out with he should have a banda behind him, but with that song. I'm like, ooh, that's pandering at its best.
All right, so look, real quick, in case you missed it, some things that might have flown under your radar last week. Paulie Malignaggi versus Gabriel Bracero is in the works for July 30th on the undercard of Santa Cruz, Frampton. Mm-hmm. Dominic Wade is facing 3 years for a vicious attack on a woman, and that woman is his baby's mama. But you know what? Right now, he's in Puerto Rico chilling. He ain't got no worries, Jay. None.
Ain't worried about nothing. He ain't worried about nothing. Oh, I lost my drop. Wait. Dominic Wade is in Puerto Rico.
Ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing.
You got to leave it. See, now I can't even make the drop start. It's
nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing.
Stop. I can't even turn it off.
Nigga ain't worried about nothing.
I can't even make it stop.
Nigga ain't worried about nothing. Nigga ain't worried about nothing.
Damn, Blog Talk. Okay, we got it. Thanks, Blog Talk.
All right. So, in other news, if you missed it, Cuellar is now training with Freddie Roach. The Modest fight could be rescheduled in July. What is up with him going to Freddie Roach, Jay?
That is just the most ridiculous thing ever. When we listen to, well, I'm sorry, it's not ridiculous. Freddie Roach is a Hall of Fame trainer, and that's not ridiculous, making the choice to work with Freddie Roach. What is ridiculous is when we did the media days out here in Los Angeles with Cuellar and Abner Mares, or Cuellar, because he's Argentinian, he went back to his former trainer, the trainer that he had before Robert Garcia, and Robert Garcia made some comments about working with him and knowing his weakness, and he seemed to be a little perturbed by that, saying that Robert Garcia doesn't really know him, and the only person that knows him is his former trainer. Forgive me, I forget the gentleman's name. So now you're leaving this guy again, who supposedly really knows you, to go work with Freddie Roach. Why are you hopscotching trainers if this guy knows you so well? So I don't know. Freddie got time. Pacquiao's retired, so he got time on his hands. He's got Postal coming up, which was a tough fight with Terrence Crawford. But other than that, I guess he has time.
I guess you got time. In other news that might have flew under the radar, Tyson Fury had to postpone his fight with Klitschko. He had a ankle injury. He suffered some ankle injury, a few days ago. But you know what? This weekend he was turning up. He was walking fine. He was partying. He ain't worried about nothing, Jay. He ain't worried about nothing.
Not worried about that. He ain't worried about that.
Yusuf
I'm
Mack
scared
is
to play
back.
it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Yusuf Mack is back. He is in a new porn called Philly Mac Attack. He's eating good, living large. He's out in the open. He ain't worried about nothing, Jay.
He ain't worried about nothing. Yusuf Mack is living the life.
Living the life. Let's take a very quick commercial break if we can, and we'll come back with the word on the curb.
Let's do it. Man, I'm scared to play the commercial. We might get a word about nothing. See, so disrespectful. I wish I could.
No
I wish
commercial?
I knew the commercial. No commercial. So disrespectful this morning. So let's see what I can remember. The WBO convention is happening in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and hopefully the Morning Punch-In Show will be in San Juan, Puerto Rico for the WBO convention. While we're there, we hope to eat the finest mofongo, drink the finest rum, and lay on the finest beaches while drinking medallas. So make sure you support the WBO by visiting their website and get ready for the Puerto Rican convention sponsored by the WBO. It's going to be a great time, and huepa.
All
right. There's our commercial for the WBO.
All right, look, everybody listen up. I need everybody to
The
get
Caribe
really
Hilton
quiet.
Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico will host the 29th WBO convention October 17th through...
So disrespectful.
So disrespectful. Listen, all right, let's get real quiet now. It's time for Word on the Curb. I got about 6 things here that I want to get through real quick before we sign off. Word on the Curb is Dusty Harrison versus Thomas Cornflake LaManna in Atlantic City in September. Rock Nation is working on that fight. Thomas LaManna out of New Jersey has this small promotional company, and I guess they want to do like a joint promotion. I don't know who's going to be performing during halftime of this fight, but I do know that is in the works, and that does look like it's going to happen. They're just ironing out the money. So Dusty Harrison versus Thomas LaManna. Here's some more word on the curve for you. You listening, Jay? You listening?
I'm huddling close to the speaker.
Okay. Kevin Farmer, Philly fighter, is supposedly going to be signing soon with Al Heyman. Talks are talking, and it is in the works. Him and Gervonta Davis over the weekend were having a lot of beef on Instagram. They were trading violent words. Meek Mills jumped in it. It was actually really funny. Meek Mills was trying to get them to spar in Philly. It's funny. But anyway, Kevin Farmer, as we know, has been signed with Lou DiBella for a couple years, hasn't really gotten the opportunities that he probably should have. Lou DiBella promotes 18,000 PBC cards, and it's about time that Kevin Farmer gets featured in one of those. So I think he realized that in order for that to happen, that he has to sign with Al Heyman. So that is in the works. Look out for Kevin Farmer signing with Al Heyman announcement coming soon. Here's another bit of word for you, is that Bernard Hopkins is still looking to return, and he's looking to return.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. Bring that back. Bernard still want to fight?
Bernard still wants to fight, and he wants to fight in October. So that's what they're working on. Vargas versus Kell Brook. Last week there was a little bit of a shakeup, guys, where Brook was complaining about the money, and there was just some things going on. But I'm told that the fight is going to happen. It's going to happen in September, and what they're waiting on is to see if Golovkin versus Eubank gets made. So the date is going to depend on if Golovkin-Eubank happens.
Golovkin-Eubank, that's a compelling fight. Where does that fight go down, do you think? Where do you think? Overseas or over here?
Yeah, I think it should probably just happen over there. Yeah.
It'll make more money.
It will. So, listen, Floyd Mayweather is still not eager to fight. Word on the curb is he is really enjoying life, and he is really enjoying being a promoter. He wants to sign more fighters. He ain't worried about nothing. I know we can't play the drop because the console's being disrespectful, but
Right.
He is not coming back, especially not this year. So dead all that talk. It's not happening. I'll tell you something that may be happening this year is Broner versus Pacquiao. So, Jay, we've been holding this real close to the chest for a couple weeks, but it was leaked out there a little bit last week. It is being talked about, and we could likely see this fight in October. And for me, Jay, that's a mega entertaining fight. I'm intrigued by that fight.
Right.
I think it would be a riot.
I'm with it. I'd go to that fight. I'm intrigued to see it. I don't know what the Filipino boxing community would make of Adrian Broner and how he would act, but it is a entertaining fight. I'm here for it. Stylistically, it would be a cool looking fight. I'm here for it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, here's the last piece of Word on the Curb before we sign out. It does not look like Andre Ward is going to fight Alexander Brand next. There's been some articles out there that was going to happen in August in Oakland, and I think it received so much negative feedback and so much slaughter on social media and everywhere else that Rock Nation is making calls. And I think that they're looking for better opposition. Now, this happened before, so I don't know why this is a surprise. You remember when he was supposed to fight Brand before he fought Barrera?
That's right.
And the same thing happened where the people and the media trashed it, and they were like, okay, we can't fight Alexander Brand. Let's call up Sullivan Barrera. Well, I think the same thing is happening here. So don't expect to see him fight Alexander Brand as a tune-up for Kovalev.
Stop.
It looks like they're trying to look for something better. So, Jay, that's all I got, Jay. We made it. We got through.
We made it. It was a lot. We had some fabulous guests. We had some technical difficulties. I committed to a Spartan wait for, but it was a great show. Let's wrap it up real quick. I'm just going to run really, really, really fast through the weekend fight schedule. It's going to be a pretty quiet weekend. Looks like the only thing going on, PBC on Fox Sports from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Edner Cherry is headlining against Lydell Rhodes with Omar Douglas in the co-feature. And it looks like, and then there's a title fight going on in Tepa, Mexico. Jose Argumedo versus Julio Mendoza for the IBF strawweight title. And that's it for the weekend fights.
All right. So, listen, we're done here. Thank you so much to Jason Sosa, Jarrett Hurd, Shawn Porter, Kenny Porter for coming on the Morning Punch and Show this morning. We appreciate everyone for listening. You can catch us every Monday morning from 8 to 9. You can catch us on the Ruckus every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Visit badculture.net or ragingbabe.com. Jay, I think that's it. I think thank you for making us a part of your day. We're out.
We ain't worried about nothing.
Summer is in full swing, and your friendly neighborhood Vons is stocked and ready with all the things that make summer just better. Stop in for fresh favorites, great low prices, and friendly smiles. Shop with your club card and get Jenny O ground turkey 93% lean sold in a 3-pound tray for just $2.49 a pound. Limit 2 trays. And pick up fresh local California-grown strawberries, 1-pound packages, 2 for $3. Tastier meats, sweeter produce, better summers. Vons. Fact is, it's just better. Summer is in full swing, and your friendly neighborhood Vons is stocked and ready with all the things that make summer just better. Stop in for fresh favorites, great low prices, and friendly smiles. Shop with your club card and get Jenny O ground turkey 93% lean sold in a 3-pound tray for just $2.49 a pound. Limit 2 trays. And pick up fresh local California-grown strawberries, 1-pound packages, 2 for $3. Tastier meats, sweeter produce, better summers. Vons. Fact is, it's just better.